All right, welcome to my presentation. It's on telecommuting. So it's an alternative to commuting to work. So telecommuting and teleworking are interchangeable. So by definition, it is a work option that allows employees to work outside the office. It allows employees to create a flexible schedule because they can be in or out of the office. It also allows the possibility of virtual teams. Virtual team is basically where you are completely online and you can be from different parts of the country or even intercontinental. In 1980, only around 2.3% of employees teleworked. Now it is about 3.9 million employees that telework at least half of the time or most of the time in the US. The flexible work option, which is what telecommuting is, has increased by 40% in the last 7 years. The purpose. So technology has evolved over the last couple of years, and it makes telework an even easier option. We want to take advantage of technology because it makes us more competitive in other businesses. It can enhance the use of virtual teams, which we just talked about, allowing for more diverse skill sets over a larger area. So basically, businesses have a larger candidate pool. They can pull from different places, so you can have someone working in India, Ohio, California, Texas, and they're all working for the same company on the same group projects. It also enhances employee engagement and satisfaction. So the more you engage your employees, the higher satisfaction you get. So basically, when you have happy workers, your customers are going to be happy. So it boosts morale. It improves and increases productivity by allowing that flexibility. You can choose your own schedule, especially if you have kids or you have different things you need to do throughout the week. It creates that possibility, and also the use of virtual teams. The benefits. So there's a couple different benefits in a couple different categories. When you're working at home, so it can increase focus on tasks without distraction. So if you're in the office, a lot of different people have different skill sets, determination, morale. So if you are working at home, you can stay focused. Also, you can avoid long commutes, and it's environmentally friendly. You no longer need to drive to work at least half the time. You're going to save, which our next point is, you're going to save costs on transits. So you're going to save cost on, repairing your car, gas. It's environmentally friendly because, less emissions, less pollution, other reasons. This one's super important in the business world today. It promotes life and home balance. A lot of businesses want to create that balance to make their employees happier. Like I said earlier, when they're happier, your business benefits, your bottom line's going to benefit. It's cost productive. So not only before it's a personal gain because you're no longer spending money on gas and money on fixing your car, it's cost productive to the business because the less people they have in the office, the less they need to provide cubicles, chairs, office supplies, even keeping lights running in certain areas of the building. And like I mentioned before, it increases productivity. So when you're working at home, maybe it helps, you're more productive, you're more focused, and it actually has increased by 13% recently. So when there's benefits, there's going to be some drawbacks. So the first drawback we have is less interaction between employees and managers. So some people like to be isolated and they work better, but other employees don't. They feel isolated and they're by themselves. They have no interaction. That can decrease personal morale. Also, just face-to-face interactions between employees and managers, things can get lost in translation. You're not directly there, especially in meetings. When everyone's calling into a meeting, information can get mixed up. Employers cannot control what their employees are doing. So you have no idea what they're doing at home. They can log into their computer, say they're working, and not be working, so productivity can decrease. The benefit of teleworking can only be offered to certain employees. So total business morale can drop because some people will be resentful, they'll be jealous that some people can work at home, so that can be a problem. And then with our first point, loss of motivation. If you're at home and you're in your sweatpants, you might not be motivated to do your work. So the scope. So who can telecommute? So employees that qualify. Well, that's a big general topic. So you must have a secure and easy access to internet and computer applications. Some people require clearances. So if you have a certain clearance, you can work from home, but in the opposite perspective, some employees that have clearances do not qualify because they have too much secure information that if someone taps into their line or taps into their wireless line, security issues can come up, which leads us to our last point. Security issues, limited access to developmental tools, software programs, and other web applications can be a disqualifier. So if you don't have the proper tools to work from home, you can't get your work done. So that disqualifies you as well. So recommendations. So if I was recommending teleworking, it saves money on both ends. So your employees don't have to spend as much money on gas, you don't have to spend as much money on office supplies. It can increase employee morale, like we've talked about, give leadership opportunities. So you're no longer working in a team, you can go home, you're kind of set to work by yourself. And also I would recommend setting up a preliminary plan. So what type of schedule you're gonna work with, full-time, part-time, if you're gonna be out of the office, in the office, and explain the specific benefits of how it would benefit you and the company. So what I plan on doing for the final long progress report, I plan to utilize the resources that I used in this presentation to obtain further knowledge of telecommuting and the benefits that it has and the drawbacks. Research more in depth how virtual teams work and how effective they are, whether it's productivity, employee morale, if it increases, decreases, and the group atmosphere, if everyone gets along and how well they get along through the internet. Further develop a scope of who can telework and how they can telework, so specific details on who qualifies and who doesn't, and also further conclude on if telework is a really good option for alternative workplace. So to conclude this far, both benefits and drawbacks to telecommuting, there is on both sides. It's completely dependent on the company and the employees. Everyone's not the same and it's not going to be the same for everybody. And then there needs to be clear guidelines that are set to obtain positive results. So if you don't really have a clear guideline of what everyone's supposed to be doing when they telework, then things can get messed up. And these are the sources that I obtained all my information through. And that is the end.